We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight, it's the Sunday night opener for the new NFL season between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. On first down, Smith ducks into the grab over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown in a Washington uniform. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete. And it's 2nd down. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give him much run after catch.
Caught by Nelson left side. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. Room to run inside to 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll run it here with Logan. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Now Hardy on the return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And the tackle there by Chris Long.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Ryan Kerrigan in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Lets it go for Nelson. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. And even 50 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside, and it's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to...
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. Encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They run it here to Thompson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And he stopped immediately there. Brian Kerrigan in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's Pumphrey on the toss. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing now is Wentz. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. To throw, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On play action, Wentz. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he's brought down after a good gain. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Anderson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll run with Thompson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He's going to field this at the 4. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Keeps himself upright. D. Ford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. In his own end zone, it's Wentz. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Lets it go. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Nelson, 69 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Pirine. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, that's Thompson, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This is taken at the 18. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They run again with Logan. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it to football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Well, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Smith now to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. Smith. And he's going to go down again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Smith. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover down.